Now that we have generated a random letter code, we want to show you a way to remember it. So the first step is to write a word for each row. I'll tell you how you can do that, and say it out loud a few times. So given the first 10 letters of the alphabet, you want to think of a word associated with the letter so that you can think of the mapping really easily. So the strategy is to write the first word that comes to mind that starts with an A, which is in the letter column, and has Q as the next consonant. And notice that this is in the mapping column. So with this instruction, a student might come up with a word like aquarium. You can also have vowels between two letters. So in the case that we have a letter B and its corresponding mapping F, it might be hard to come up with a word that has F as the next consonant when something starts with B. So a student might come up with the word buffalo. You can also have words that aren't real or come from a different language. So if the first word that comes to mind when you think of CH is chew, that works too. So now that we assume that we can fill out the rest of this table and we can practice our letter map. So the first step is to have the letters in order in this example, and we remember the mapping that is associated with the letter by using the word that we use to remember it. So what is our word for A? Aquarium. And we know that the mapping associated with A now is the first consonant that we see in this word that is not A, and we get Q, so we know that that's our mapping. For B, our first consonant that comes in the word buffalo after B is F. And this is also why we don't want to have vowels in the mapping column, because then it gets confusing. And so if we just have a straight rule that we're just using the first consonant that comes to mind, it's very easy to see in our word that the corresponding mapping for B is F. Similarly, we filled out one for C, so our word for that is chew, and the corresponding mapping is going to be H for C. So we continue this for the rest of the table, and at this point, the students are ready to work in teams on worksheet 1A and B to complete steps number 2 and 5 and reference using our letter map.